Hello, hello. This is Mikoi from Salon Maverick. Welcome to our tutorial. Today I would like to tell you about the most common mistakes made by Polish learners, and not only while learning English. I have chosen five that are very common. Just a quick introduction. What are the mistakes? I mean, sometimes we just make a direct translation from your native language into English. Like, for example, instead of saying you are right, you say you have right, because in your native language, this is how you would say it. The same, he is 20 years old, and instead of he is 20 years old, you say he has 20 years old, because again, this is very common in your native language. Then we constantly repeat fossil errors, something that you learned a long time ago, and you keep saying the same, and you believe that this is the correct form, even though it's not. Yes. So to make shopping, oh no, we should say to do shopping, but you learned that many years ago, and this is how you believe it should go. The same, organizer. Oh no, it's the organizer. And to evaluate, to evolve, we will talk about it a bit later, about this particular example. Taking false friends for real friends. So because in your native language something sounds and means something, does not necessarily mean that it would have the very same meaning in your target language. So consequent, consistent. We'll also take a closer look at that later on. And misuse of prepositions, which is a very common mistake. So I saw it in TV. Depends from, to reply for emails, whereas it should be I saw it on TV, depends on, and you reply to emails. So let's take a quick look, okay, at five of them that are very common. So okay, that's the first one. So a second for you to figure out the answer. And we have a common mistake, as usually, which is just wrong. And then the correct answer is as usual or as always. So here are a few examples. As always, she was late for school. He forgot to make the bed, as usual. And you can also say, I usually drink tea for breakfast, but not as usually. So I usually do something, and as always, as usual, something happens. All right, number two. All right, so a second for you to again work out the answer. And the common mistake is, oh, it doesn't have sense. No, we don't want it. We don't want to see that. We have the correct answer, which is it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense, but it makes sense. It doesn't make sense. So this theory doesn't make sense. It makes no sense to do it again. Number three. Okay, so again, a few seconds, and very often people would make the following mistake: you lose work, you quit work. No, you don't, right? You lose a job, you lose your job, you quit a job, you quit one's job, you give up a job, you give up one's job, but basically it's a job, not work, right? So he lost his job last month. Don't be afraid to quit a job if you don't like it. After giving it a lot of thought, I decided to give up my job. So you lose your job. All right, here comes another one. And you would think that probably it would mean to evaluation. No. I mean, in a second, it's not a wrong word per se. I mean, we will just use it in a different context. In here, of course, you can say to development, but usually people mistake it for to evolve, evolution. So evolve and evolution. These are the words that we would like to use here, right? So, and the same goes with revolve, revolution, revolver. So something for you to remember that there is some movement. So it evolves, it revolves. So it's maybe easier for you to remember. So technology evolves very quickly. A lot of successful companies evolve from a garage concept. I'm writing an essay about the human evolution. And then we got the word evaluate. Evaluated, the performance of each employee is evaluated on a yearly basis, which means it's assessed, right? It's rated. We're still evaluating the damage caused by the flood. Each student will give a self-evaluation of their language skills. All right, and the last one, a very common mistake. So people say consequence. No. Again, it's a good word, but in another context, and I will show it to you in a while. So the answer here is consistency, right? So if you want to be successful in life, you need to be consistent and determined. The winners showed remarkable consistency throughout the season. And then we've got the consequent word, but the company collapsed because of falling sales and a consequent loss of profit. So something that followed, that happened later. The accident was a consequence of his carelessness. Do you understand the consequences of your decision? So a very different context. Okay, and here we have the revision. All right, so let's translate some of these sentences into English. All right, so I quick thinking process. All right, as always, as usual, we're running late. Number 2, okay. On weekends, I usually wake up at 9 a.m. The third one, just give it some thought. All right, it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense to do it all over. Number 4, okay. Finally, or eventually, I decided to quit my job and try out something else. Okay, a few seconds for you to think maybe out loud and to say it out loud. IT companies evolve very fast, very quickly. Number 6, all employees will be evaluated at the end of the year, so evaluated. Number 7, okay, in order to become successful, you need to be very consistent. And number 8, weather forecasts predict heavy rains and consequent floods. All right, well done. Thank you for choosing Maverick. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.